Well, hello, friends. Hope you're having a great day today. Welcome to Monday's edition of Take 5. Hey, it's just a couple of days away from Christmas. I hope you got your last minute shopping and preparation done because it is here. It's about to be on us. I hope you've made preparations to enjoy this time with family and friends. Hey, yesterday we had such a great day in the house of God. I always enjoy worshiping with my church family. And I have this habit, sometimes I say I don't like holidays, coming to church because people seem to be scattered and going here and there. And so that's just a thing that I always say. And I can't help it, I do. But I enjoy so much being there. The services are great, especially like yesterday. We had a great time of worship, singing the Christmas hymns and going to the Word together. And then we had communion, and it's just a great day in the house of God. If you missed it, you missed a great time to be with your church family. So we're still in the series that we've entitled Types and Shadows. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time defining it. I've already done that. What I do want to do today is offer my apologetic for teaching on this subject of types and shadows, because sometimes I think people think that when you get into theological things like this, they think, well, that's unnecessary. What's the point? I think this is so important, though, because what we've learned about types and shadows is that it points to Jesus from every direction of the Scripture. From Genesis to Revelation, it's pointing to Jesus, and that's what it should be. You see, types and shadows, they're prophecies, they're prefigures of future events. And when God gives us them all throughout the Scripture, it's like He's so excited about what He's going to do that He gives us hints all along the way. And so God gives us these prefigures or these shadows or these types of what's going to happen in His great plan. And He does it with enough detail that attentive readers can believe and long for it and hope in it and have faith for it. So the idea of types and shadows should change the way we read our Bibles, because the challenge is not just to get through reading scriptures, in a year's time or every couple of years. The challenge is to see Jesus on every page and be awestruck at God's intentionality at how He's guiding us through His Word and revealing His Son and His glory to us. If we don't take the time to read the scriptures this way and see this concept of types and shadows, then sometimes the Bible can end up being, just either a list of heroes that we want to emulate, or in some cases, a long list of bad ideas that you don't want to do. The concept is Christ has to be the point of all Scripture. All of it. Genesis 1:1 to Revelation 22:21. He has to be the point of all Scripture. The entire Bible is a collection of types and shadows that lead us to a revelation of Jesus Christ as the perfect consummation of God's work and His Word. Now, what I have found out is that the more I read the Bible, the more I see that it is not just a book of many different stories, but it is a book of many different stories that ultimately tell one story. And we need to learn how these stories are intertwined together and what their thread of commonality is. That's so important. Types and shadows reveal Jesus from Genesis to Revelation, and they have been divinely designed and incorporated by God into the Scriptures. This is the most important phrase I'm going to say to you. You need to grasp this. These types and shadows have been divinely designed and incorporated in the Scriptures by God to give us more of a reason to hope and believe than to fear and doubt. There's a lot of reasons to fear and doubt. There's a lot of reasons not to believe out there, right? I mean, they're all around us. They're on television. They're on social media. There are all kinds of reasons to doubt. What God has given us in His Word is more of a reason to believe than to doubt. Now, Jesus is actually the first one that ever explicitly suggested that there was such a connection between all the stories in the Bible. And interestingly enough, He says that all of the stories point to Himself. After His resurrection, the disciples were in a bad way. They didn't know what to do. They hadn't seen Him as of yet. They didn't believe. They were afraid. They were down and out. And you got to understand, these were the guys that talked with Him. They walked with Him. They ate with Him. They had hands-on experience. They learned from him himself how to cast out devils, how to raise the dead, how to pray for the sick, how to preach the kingdom. I mean, they knew him. They traveled with him. My goodness, John even leaned over on his chest there and heard his heart beating, felt his chest rising and falling as he was breathing there. I mean, these guys knew him in a way that you and I do not, and still they fell into fear and doubt when Jesus died and before they saw him at the time of the resurrection. And so Jesus explained to them that they were supposed to have faith because of everything that he had told them. It had been written in the scriptures from Moses all the way up until the present. Jesus actually walks upon two guys that are on the road to Emmaus there after the resurrection, and they're really sad and downcast. And he asked them, why are you, or what are you discussing as you walk along? And they stood with their faces downcast. One of them, named Cleopas, said, are you the only one visiting in Jerusalem that doesn't know what's happened? Jesus said, what things are you talking about? And they said, about Jesus of Nazareth. He was a prophet, powerful in word and deed before God and all the people. The chief priests and our rulers handed him over to be sentenced to death, and they crucified him. But we hoped that he was going to be the one that would redeem Israel. And what's more, it's the third day since all this took place. In addition, some of our women amazed us. They went to the tomb early this morning, but they didn't find his body. And they came and told us what they had saw and how they had saw visions of angels there that said he was alive. But some of our companions ran down there and they didn't find him. They couldn't see Jesus. Then Jesus said something that would probably have offended most people. Jesus said, why are you so thick-headed? Man, you got to love the Lord when he just gets real. Why are you so thick-headed? Why do you find it so hard to believe every word that the prophets have spoken? Now notice what he said. He said, it's not just what I said, but every word that the prophets before have spoken. All of that was a type and a shadow, a prefiguring of me. Why do you find it so hard to believe all of that? Wasn't it necessary for Christ the Messiah to experience these sufferings and then enter into his glory? And then watch this. Then he carefully unveiled to them the revelation of himself through the scripture. He started from the beginning and explained the writings of the books of Moses and of all the prophets, showing how they wrote of him and revealed the truth about himself. Jesus calls the attention of these two sad travelers back to all of those types and all of those shadows of Scripture from the books of Moses all the way to the present. And he did this in order to give their faith some substance and some evidence to hope for and believe him. Do you understand? God is the God that will go out of his way to help you believe. And he's done it even with his word. We don't have to just say we believe in Jesus because of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. We can look back in the scriptures, and through the understanding of types and shadows, we can say we believe in Jesus because of everything that is pointed to him from Genesis all the way to the book of Revelation. He has added weight to our faith, and he has given us more of a reason to believe than to doubt. That's what types and shadows are all about, and that's why we need to grasp the best understanding we can of them. Hey, I've got to get out of here. It's been good being with you today. I look forward to being with you tomorrow on Tuesday's edition of Take 5. Till then, God bless you. Have a great day. Hey, trust the Lord, my friend. He will never fail you.